So Chelsea get the win over al-hilal, and they're through to the final this weekend, Stevie Nicol. But what kind of performance was it from the Blues?
Well, for an hour, it was enough. They were in control for 60 minutes. We're one ahead through Lukaku, a bit fortunate, bit of poor defending, and he couldn't miss from 2 yards. But for 60 minutes, it was a case of just try and see the game out, keep the ball. But on around the 60th, Halal ended up getting a one-on-one. Kepa made a great save. And then probably, 5 minutes later, had to make another incredible save. So, they've gone from being completely comfortable after an hour to having a very uncomfortable last half an hour. Really didn't do anything going forward in the second period. But, at the end of the day, Mark, semi-finals are about winning. And yes, they held on a little. But the most important thing is they got the victory and they're marching on into the final.
Exactly. You'd rather play like that and get through than play exceptionally well and get knocked out by a fluke goal. So they are through to the final. It's pretty much the only trophy that they don't have in their cabinet. You played in these types of games, having won the European Cup. What do they mean for players?
Oh, dear. You talk about a time warp. Listen, when it started in the early 80s, we treated it as a holiday. I'll be honest. It was a break over Christmas. Coaching staff said, "Look, just relax. Yes, we're going to play the game, but it certainly didn't have the significance it does today." And so today, the players today are absolutely desperate to win it. It's something on your CV. Azpilicueta was talking about it the day before the game, saying that the first time he played in this game, he didn't realise what it meant. It's taken him 9 years to get back to it. And so, having had to wait 9 years, you can be sure that Azpilicueta and a lot of other Chelsea players, this means a whole lot more, certainly than when I played in it.
Back in 2012, Chelsea faced Brazilian opponents in the final again. That was Corinthians back then. This time, it's Palmeiras. I suppose the two teams in the final are the two we expected from supposedly the two strongest continents domestically in world football, South America and Europe. Is that fair?
Yes, I think so. Listen, I'd also say that probably Chelsea are going into it as favourites. But the truth is, right now, Chelsea's problem is putting teams away. I've just been speaking about how for 60 minutes they were in total control, but they never killed the game. They didn't create that many chances. Lukaku should have at 0-0 scored from 3 yards out in the near post. But after that, you're looking at more of possession than actually creating an awful lot of chances. So Palmeiras will be dangerous, no question about that. Chelsea defensively, though, yes, Kepa had to make a couple of incredible saves, but Chelsea are pretty solid defensively. So going into this game, they'll fancy themselves to keep a clean sheet and hopefully get that goal that'll push them towards the win.
Speaking of goals, Romelu Lukaku back among the goals. He's a bit of a conundrum, though, Stevie, isn't he? Because you covered a lot of Serie A for ESPN FC and saw all the goals that he scored for Inter. Is it due to a lack of service? Is it due to a lack of confidence? Because he's still got the ability. So why isn't he scoring more goals?
Well, I don't think we should be shocked that he's not scoring more goals. He's not the most gifted of finishers. He gets himself. I would probably say this his biggest strength is he gets himself in positions where he gets the opportunity to score. I don't think he's a natural finisher. Yes, he scores goals, but he's not natural. The chance he had at 0-0 today, I think, is a perfect example. A ball's played across the inside the 6-yard box. He gets across his defender. He gets across the goalkeeper. He has to just make contact with it and put it in, and he's completely missed the ball. I mean, that's just what you get with Lukaku. But then, as I said, he has a knack of being in the right place at the right time as well, and that's why he got his goal. It wasn't through any great play from Chelsea, or it wasn't any delicious finish from him. You know, he's 2 yards out and he's blasted it. So, listen, Lukaku will get his goals. Unfortunately, I guess the easiest way to say it is when Lukaku's in front of goal, ready to pull the trigger, you're not sure he's going to score. You know, there are other players that they get in a certain position and you know it's in the back of the net. You just don't get the feeling that that's what Lukaku is.
Finally, with Chelsea, the league table suggests that Man City and Liverpool are kind of in a league of their own, and Chelsea are kind of in a league of their own with just themselves because there's a gap to the teams battling for fourth. What did Chelsea need to do under Tuchel to get closer to Man City and Liverpool and be more competitive?
Well, I think they need to figure out what they're all about going forward. I'm not quite sure what the best forward line is. That's the truth. You know, you look at Liverpool, you look at City. I mean, well, City's a bit of an anomaly because regardless of who it seems they put in, the same job's done. Liverpool, you know who's playing up front. With Chelsea, I'm not sure what the best front three is. Is it better with Lukaku? I'm not 100% sure that that's correct. Is it better with Ziyech coming in from the right-hand side, or is it better with Mount there? You know, what's going on? Are you better with Pulisic on the left? So there's I think the questions about Chelsea are all about the forward line. What is the best forward line, and how can they get the best three, because it usually is a three, to gel and to play together and create more chances and certainly take more chances.
That's for them. For now, Chelsea have a Club World Cup final to look forward to against Palmeiras this weekend. Full coverage right here on ESPN FC.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.